In this video, we're going to take a look at the critical assignment requirements and talk through the rubric. So for your critical assignment, you're doing what I've been modeling throughout the entire course. You're going to create a presentation on one math topic that you learned in this course, and you're going to need to identify some clear steps for that topic. So I want to see, like you see in my video, step 1, step 2, step 3. And then you're going to work out a sample problem with a detailed explanation. Now, I didn't put a lot of guidelines in what the presentation is because I've had students who like to do videos. So they'll do a video similar to what I do. I've had students do PowerPoints where they put in speaker's notes, and within the speaker's notes, they give some detailed explanation. I've had students do animated things that are animated and slide through with speaker notes speaking. So I don't want to limit you to the presentation method. As long as it contains the following requirements, then we are good with that. So in the rubric, I'm going to walk through the rubric and detail what has to be in this presentation. So the 25% of your grade comes from the math topic as explained thoroughly. So what that is you need to introduce the topic just like I do in my lecture videos. You might want to define what it is just like I do in my lecture videos. And then you're going to show that you're mathematically literate by having that detailed explanation of what you're going to talk about. So this is an introduction. It's here is the concept. This is how it's defined. Look at my lecture videos for when I give that little one-sentence objective. We're going to be able to solve a system of equations with substitution. That's kind of that first slide that comes right after that would be what we're looking at right here. We want to be able to use appropriate, relevant, and compelling content. What does that mean? If you are solving something by graphing, you are going to need to include an image of a graph. So we want what you include in there to be relevant, and we want it to be compelling in the sense that I don't want to see a slide that's so cluttered with things that I can't, you can't read what's there. So we want to make sure their slides have all the relevant information, but if you're doing slides or a video, you want to make sure you've broken things up. You want to be able to show that you have mastered the content. So this is speaking about when you're in the notes or you're speaking over the PowerPoint. That's going to be ensuring that you've got mastery. So you want to make sure you're very detailed, you're giving a full explanation, you're not leaving anything out in those topics. And again, you're choosing a topic from the course that you've learned, so you can go back and watch my video to get some inspiration for this. So I'm really looking to see, did you master this subject? Are you able to convey understanding of this subject? So a great way to do this for the second 25% is find someone who's not in this math class in your house or a friend. If you can explain it to them where they can understand it and they haven't taken this course or they can mostly understand it, you're fine in this checklist for 25%. So that's the way you're going to do it. You want to include all the relevant images, all the relevant information, but you want to do it in a way that's very basic and broken down to where someone who hasn't taken this course can get a pretty good idea of what needs to be done. Now this is Dimension 3 is something that students kind of have trouble with. I'm looking for, this is separate from the actual math part of the presentation. So this is a separate piece. This piece is asking you at the end of your presentation to look at how does a biblical worldview impact what we do in the math classroom. So a lot of my Worship Wednesdays have been geared to things that you can use for inspiration. What does the Bible tell us about academics, about excellence, about persistence? How does that biblical worldview affect how you're doing in the math classroom or in an academic classroom in general? Then you're going to demonstrate the use of your resources. What does that mean? You're going to solve a problem. So I know that can kind of be blurry here. We are looking for you to solve the actual problem with detailed steps. So you're introducing it here, definition, basics. Here you're giving me all the relevant content, images, graphs, clear steps to solving the problem, really breaking it down to as basic as you can. Then here you're demonstrating a problem. This, the biblical worldview, I think it makes the most sense at the very end, but if you want to put it in the beginning or you want to put it in the middle, that's up to you. I'm not giving a lot of detailed, specific guidelines here because I don't want to stifle your creativity. Now, these are the directions for submitting the critical assignment. This has to be submitted to task stream, okay? However, you are also going to have to check your critical assignment for originality here. So you're going to submit the assignment here for originality, then you're going to follow these directions to upload it to TaskStream. It's not going to be uploaded into Blackboard directly. It's going to be graded through that TaskStream submission. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me via email. You can post in the question forum. But again, I'm trying not to give detailed specifics here so that you can be free to be creative. But use what I've done in the lecture videos as a model. Use what I've done in the Worship Wednesdays as a model to be able to fulfill these 4 portions of the rubric.